So, like I said, it's been a long summer. It's been an exciting summer. I got to see God do some amazing things. And one of those things that I got to see him do this summer was at a camp that I preached in Illinois. It was a fun week. It was a blast. This camp in Bunker Hill, Illinois, about 20 minutes outside St. Louis, reached out to me last year sometime, probably about 8, 9 months ago. They called my college and said, hey, we're looking for a preacher for our camp, our summer camp. And one of my professors knows that I do youth ministry, that I do camping ministry, that I love to preach at camps and everything. So he connected me with them, and I got connected with these people out there. And we just talked, and they said, okay, we want you to come and preach this week for us. So we FaceTimed and everything, and got set up, and I drove out there July 10th, right after church service, and got out there and just had an amazing week. It was really funny because this camp's over in Illinois. So I can't help but thinking to people. So the guy introduces me on the first night, the director, Dustin, and he says, we have an evangelist here, his name's Noble, he's from Indiana. And I got there, I said, I got what Dustin said. My name is Noble. He said, I'm a youth pastor from Southern Indiana, and I drove 3 hours out here just to do with you guys this week to have an awesome week at camp. And I said, and let's be real. It's pretty well a miracle that I made it 3 hours out here, because we know how bad Illinois drivers are. They didn't like that too much. So, and then they didn't like my Cardinals jokes or anything. They didn't like me picking up that. So, but we had a good week regardless. But what was exciting was that all week, I got to preach about superheroes. That was the theme that they called me and said, okay, our theme this week is going to be superheroes. And so I've got like half a year to plan for this. And I'll be honest, before they told me that, I was really behind on all the superhero kind of stuff. I hadn't kept up with a lot of it. I missed a bunch of these movies that everybody was going to see. So I started plugging myself in. I started looking for all this stuff about superheroes. I started watching the movies and reading about them. And there was some really interesting stuff that I found. There was one story of 2 Cleveland high schoolers in 1933. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. And they said they're sitting in their high school classes of mythology and literature, and they're hearing about these heroes of myth and fairy tales and fame, like Zeus and Hercules, and they said, we want to come up with a superhero. So they imagine this man. They start off with what he looks like. They give him this incredible physique. He's strong, he's massive. And they say, okay. So we got his body, we got what he's going to look like. But then they say, we gotta give him some clothes. Because if you try and be a superhero with no clothes on, you're going to end up on the news, but not for being a superhero. So they give him these clothes. They give him these bright reds and bright blues and yellows and this Victorian-style cape. And they give him a name. And they say, they do a mashup between 2 popular actors' names. Clark Gable and Kent Cable. They put them together. And they say, okay, so we got our guy. They say, but we don't want him to just do normal things like strongman, like Popeye or Flash Gordon. We want him to do incredible things. We want him to do social justice kind of things, where he saves people, where he helps people. So they give him these things that he rescues people day in and day out. Now, they've got their guys, Clark Kent. Superman. Now, what's interesting is that Shuster and Siegel are practicing Jews. And they say, okay, well, we're going to honor our heritage, we're going to honor our faith, and we're going to give them a Hebrew name. And name them Kal-El, which means all that is God. So they've got their guy. They said, well, we need to give them a backstory. Every superhero, every character in a story needs a backstory. So they say, okay, we got it. They remember the tales of what they read and studied as Jews, as young Jewish boys in the Old Testament of Torah. And they remember this baby that was sent from a land far away to the state of Egypt. And they make the story of Superman. They make his home on Krypton. And his home's blowing up. It's imploding. His planet's being destroyed. And his dad says, my son's only chance at life, my son's only chance to live is for me to send him away to a faraway land. It's called Earth. And he says he's going to be a God that he's going to do things that they can never do themselves. He's got these powers that these people don't have. And he says he's going to do those things. Now the story that Shuster and Siegel are remembering is the story of Moses. sort of Moses, this baby sent away to save the people. And the person that they create is so influential in culture, because during World War II, 1 in 4 soldiers carried comic books. The Nazis during the Holocaust couldn't stand to read and see the tales and accounts of Superman encouraging these soldiers in the fight. There was actually hope that they could actually save the day. Hitler's chief propagandist, Joseph Goebbels, once said that he is an overdeveloped ape. Talking about Superman, an overdeveloped ape with a huge physique, but a tiny underdeveloped mind. He says, yeah, he's strong, yeah, he may be a hero, but he's an idiot, he's a moron. Goebbels was attacking the very essence of what a hero was. He says, yeah, this guy may be a hero, but he's going to fail. He's not really a hero at his best. So, Superman becomes his icon. But more than that, he represents the biblical story that Goebbels and Schuster and Heigl followed and they studied, the story of Moses. So, today, I'll be reading from Exodus 1. So if you read the Bible, turn there. Before we begin, let's pray. God, today I thank you so much for this place. God, this house that we can come in and worship and praise our God. The God who created the universe. God, but not only that, the God who is sending and who is sent and delivered into this place to lead a broken, helpless people out of slavery. God, I'm praying that today your Spirit's in this place, and God, that you open hearts to the message that you want us to hear. God, thank you so much that you sent and delivered to this place to us. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. So, backstory before we enter into Exodus. Exodus is the second book in the Bible. Now, it's following the story of God's people, of the nation of Israel. Now, how that starts out with a guy named Abraham. And Abraham has a son named Isaac. And Isaac has 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. And Jacob becomes the son that the lineage of the nation of Israel comes out. So Jacob has 12 sons. And these 12 sons become the 12 tribes of Israel. They become the 12 tribes of God's people. His sons just build this nation that God blesses and God chooses and God chases. So, one of his favorite sons, is a boy named Joseph. Now, if you've been in church, you know the story of Joseph. Joseph is the son that Jacob loves, and he gives this incredible coat to him, and he favors him, and he loves him above all. And his brothers get incredibly jealous, like brothers do. So, one day, his brother said, that's it, we got to do it. We got to kill him. So they catch Joseph one day out in the wilderness, and they take his coat, and they cover it in animal blood, and they decide, we're not going to kill him, but we'll throw him in a well. Throw him in this well, and we'll tell our father that an animal slaughtered him. So they tell their father that, they tell Jacob that, and then they sell Joseph into slavery in Egypt. And Joseph's in slavery in Egypt, and he's there, and he's just working away. And Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, starts asking his servants, or just asking his people, says, I'm really having these weird dreams, and I don't understand. He says, I need some help. He says, I'm eating some weird food before I go to bed. It's, chimichanga, there's some lapias, there's some Mexican food, and I just don't know what's going on. And he says, I need some help. He says, if anyone can interpret these, his servant, none of his people can do that. They can't interpret this. But he says, I know this slave. His name is Joseph. And he can interpret dreams. He can tell you what these mean and what God's trying to tell you. So they bring in Joseph, and Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams. And Pharaoh has favor with Joseph. He says he appreciates him, he loves the work that he does. And he gives Joseph a high place in the kingdom. He makes him a ruler over a land. And Joseph has regard for Pharaoh. Until one day, guess who shows up? Joseph's brothers and all their families, all the people of the nation of Israel. They come to Egypt because There's no more food. They're having a famine. But there's food in Egypt where Joseph's at. So they come in and lo and behold, they don't recognize Joseph. And Joseph says, I'm the brother that you sold into slavery. And I forgive you. And he says, you welcome in, come in. And Pharaoh, who loves Joseph, welcomes these people in this nation of Israel in. And they have a safe place in Egypt. And that's where we start. In Exodus chapter 1, verse 1, it says, these are the names of the sons of Israel, Jacob's sons, who came to Egypt with Jacob, each with his house: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah; Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin; Dan and Naphtali; Gad and Asher. All the descendants of Jacob were 70 persons. Joseph was already in Egypt. Then Joseph died, and all his brothers and all that generation. But the people of Israel were fruitful and exceeding and increased greatly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, so that the land was filled with them. So the context of where we're at right now is that Joseph has been welcomed into this land, and the people of Israel have been welcomed into Egypt under this Pharaoh. And they have a good place, but then Joseph dies. And the people of that generation, Joseph's brothers, those people, they all die. But the people stay, the Israelites stay there. And they continue to grow, they continue to expand their nation and have more children. And the people of Israel grow in number. And then there's a turn in the story. Verse 8. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph. And he said to his people, behold, the people of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply. And if war breaks out, they join our enemies and fight against us and escape from the land. Therefore they set taskmasters over them to afflict them with heavy burdens. They built for Pharaoh cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied, and the more they spread abroad. And the Egyptians were in more dread of the people of Israel. So they ruthlessly made the people of Israel work as slaves, and made their lives bitter and work in hard service, in mortar and brick, lives bitter with hard service, in all kinds of work in the field, and the work that ruthlessly made them work as slaves. So these people, these Israelites, God's people who have been chosen and loved, they were once welcomed in the land of Egypt, but no longer. The Pharaoh who Joseph knew, the Pharaoh who loved Joseph, he dies. And a new one rises up and says these people, these Israelites, they're too much. There's too many of them. They're too strong. They could turn one day and join our enemies and fight against us and destroy us all, take our kingdom. He says, that's it. I got one piece of I gotta do it. He makes them work as slaves. He puts them hard labor and just burdens them. But the Israelites, the nation of Israel, God's people, continue to grow. And that's true today as well. Under incredible persecution, we see that where God's people still follow Him faithfully, it grows. I have a friend who was once my youth pastor. He was a missionary in China. He talks about how in China, Christians are persecuted. They're put in prison. And the church is continually growing there. Where its people are persecuted and pushed and pressed hard. That the church continues to grow. That people keep getting reached with the gospel that God loves them and died to save them. And that's what's happening for Israel right now. But it continues to happen. It continues to grow. So the Pharaoh said, that's it. And down to my last straw. Verse 15. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shiphrah and the other one Puah, when you serve as midwife to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, you shall kill him. But if it is a daughter, she shall live. Pharaoh says, my only choice is to kill these Israelites as they come into the world. He says, the boys will grow up to be men and fight in the army, and they can defeat us. So he tells these midwives, the women who deliver the babies for the Hebrews, the Israelites, he says, if it's a boy, you're going to kill him. You're going to slaughter him. Because that's all, the only card I have left in the day. So he tells the midwives this, but they refuse to do so. They say, no. You tell us one thing, but God's convicting us of another, that we shouldn't do this. So they let the babies live. They let these boys live. And for us today, there's an incredible message in that there are some things in the world that people tell us we need to do. For my students, I tell them there's stuff that their friends will tell them that they need to do. And for some of us, for adults, that there are some things that the people over us, our bosses, people that we think have power over us, they tell us we need to do these things. But God's convicting us to do something else. And that incredible moment we have is to say, am I going to choose to do what those people tell me? Or am I going to choose to do what God is convicting me of? And I promise, every time that we choose to do what God is convicting us of, we're blessed. See, those midwives, they chose not to slaughter those babies. And Pharaoh dealt harshly with them. But God took care of them. God took care of them, it says in the rest of chapter 1. And it's an incredible blessing that they did that. Because for the people of Israel, the fact that those midwives did that saved them. Exodus chapter 2 speaks of that. Because these Israelites, they've been in slavery for so long. But God has a plan for them. And it's through a man, through a baby sent from a far land to save the people. Exodus chapter 2 reads this. It says, now a man from the house of Levi went and took as his wife a Levite woman. The woman conceived and bore a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she took for him a basket made of bulrushes and daubed it with bitumen and pitch. She put the child in it and placed him among the reeds in the riverbank. And she sends his basket down the wood his baby. And his baby's sister stands down the river to see where he lands and see what happens to him. So it's going down the river, and then all of a sudden, who comes out to the river to bathe other than Pharaoh's daughter? Pharaoh, the one who wants to kill every Hebrew Israelite baby, that his daughter by chance would have to be out bathing when this basket close by. She sends a servant to get it, and she brings it over, and they say, oh, it's a Hebrew baby. And at that point, you think, Pharaoh's daughter's going to get slaughtered. She knows that. These Hebrew babies are supposed to be slaughtered. So she says, fetch a Hebrew woman to nurse it for me. And then when he's grown, that he can come and become my son. So that's what happens. Verse 10, when the child grew older, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses because she said, I drew him out of the water. And that's just the start of this incredible story of a deliverer coming in to save his people. God's people, these Israelites are in slavery. And God says, I'm sending someone. His name is Moses. And Moses grows up in the house of Pharaoh. And he becomes the son of Pharaoh's daughter. And he lives in that household 40 years. And until he realizes these people, these slaves, they're my people. I'm a Hebrew, I'm an Israelite. And these people that are being abused are my people. So one day he's out walking and he sees a slave master that's beating a slave, an Israelite. And he attacks that slave master and kills him. And he has to go on the run. He realizes what he's done, he's going to get punished. So he goes to a land called Midian for 40 years. And if you know the story of Moses, God reaches Moses after 40 years in Midian through the burning bush. He says, go back and lead my people out of slavery in Egypt. And following that, the remaining first 14 chapters of the book of Exodus, where Moses goes in and tells Pharaoh, let my people go, and God sends the plagues. And closing in chapter 14, Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt through the Red Sea, splitting the Red Sea. It's an incredible story of a deliverer sent to save a people. And for us, there's some real truth in that, things we can gain. And it's some of the things that the Israelites are considering. These Israelites have been in slavery for such a long time. And they've read the scripture, they've read that God is going to come and save them, that the God who created the universe loves them, He's going to lead them out. There's been whispers between the Israelites while they're working. And they've been there so long. Think about that. Moses grew 40 years in Pharaoh's household. 40 more years in Midian. Before that, they were slaves. Over 80 years, these people have been in slavery. And I think some of them probably got tired of it and said, that's it. I'm out of here. I don't need God to send anyone to save me. I'm going to get out on my own. I think about those Israelites. Some of those slaves probably said, I'm going to make a break for it. I'm getting freedom on my own. They tried to run. And they probably were met by a slave master and killed. And they said, that was my plan. My plan was that I was going to get out on my own, that I was going to make it. But they couldn't make it. God had a plan for them. And it reminded me of a story I read of a woman in January of 1985. At Los Angeles International Airport, a large suitcase was found at baggage claim. It had been left there for some time, and custom agents came and examined it and looked at it, and inside they found the dead body of a young woman. They had an investigation. They said that this young woman should have been dead for a couple of days at this point, and they started investigating, and they said, this young woman, she was an Iranian woman, married to a man who lived in the States. And she couldn't get a visa. She couldn't get a pass to get in the country. So she had a plan. She said, I got a plan. I have a plan to get in. I'm going to plan to get in this promised land that I'm seeking. And she said, I'm going to get in this suitcase. I'm going to get in the cargo bay of the plane. And I'm going to fly into America unchecked. Now, we've always thought, her plan was simple enough. But how could she ever think that she was actually going to make it? So, she doesn't make it. Her plan doesn't work out. And for those Israelites, their plan to get out of slavery, get to the promised land that they've been promised by God to Abraham, they're not going to get in on their own plan. That's the truth for us today. And if you got a pen and a bullet, write that down. God has a plan to lead us out. For us, some people believe, and they fully understand, saying, I'll make it into heaven, I'll make it into the promised land on my own. I've got a plan. I'll be good enough, I'll do enough things, enough charity, or enough service, and that's going to get me in. I don't need a deliverer, I don't need somebody to pull me out. But we do. We need someone to lead us out. God sent the Israelites a deliverer. He sent Moses in to this place to lead these people, these helpless people, out of slavery towards the promised land that they had been promised. And for us, he's sending a deliverer as well. He's sending someone to lead us out. And he always has had that. These Israelites, they probably also sat around and they've given up hope. Think about how long they've been there. Say, God's not coming with us. Some of them probably just kind of rested where they're at in their slavery. Said, where's God been? How long have we been here? How many generations have we seen in slavery? And they've given up hope. God's abandoned us. He's left us. And for some of us, we know exactly how those Israelites feel. Because we may have been at a point where we say, I'm struggling with this, the sin, it's holding me down. I feel burdened and heavy, and I feel like God has abandoned me. In dark times of life, when we have experienced loss and tragedy, we say, where's God been? Where's he at? He's left me here to suffer. And these Israelites, some of them probably believe that. But I think that there's some, I believe that there's some that are holding out saying, no, God's got this plan. He's still here. He's still here. It's like the little boy in the grocery store who walks down the aisle and he just cries, Mom, Mommy, where are you? Mom, where are you? He's walking down the aisle. He just remembered he'd been in the fruit snack aisle with his mom. Looking at, asking her, she was shopping, and he's saying, Mom, can I buy some fruit snacks? He's probably 4 years old, 5 years old. He says, Mom, can I buy some fruit snacks? And he turns around and she's gone. And so he's walking down his aisle, so when he goes past aisle 1, he sees nothing there but an old man in his powered shopping cart. He goes by aisle 2, he sees nothing but 3 college students gathered around the cart and arguing about who's going to pay for the food because none of them have any money. And he gets to aisle 3. He says, surely she's going to be there. That's where the fruit snacks are at. That's where I saw her last. She's going to be there. But she's not. So he keeps walking. Aisle 4, no one. Aisle 5, no one. He gets to aisle 6. And he sees this man wearing this blue vest stacking cans on the shelf. And this man's got a big handlebar mustache and a name tag. And this man turns and he sees this little boy. And he says, you know, man, can I help you? And he says, I lost my mom. I think she left me here, or maybe she lost me, or maybe she got abducted by aliens. And he says, well, has your mom left you before? And he says, no. Has she ever forgot about you before? No. Has she ever been abducted by aliens before? Not to my knowledge. So he says, well, let's find her. I'm sure she's here. He says, no. I looked everywhere. She's not here. So they keep walking, and they get towards aisle 10. This little boy thinks, well, this is the end. This is the end of the last time. And they turn the corner, and there's aisles 10 through 15 that the boy didn't know about. So the man walks up to the microphone and raps, and says, lost boy, aisle 10. And they stand there. And out of aisle 14 comes this little boy's mother with a shopping cart. And his little sister in the cart in a different outfit than she'd been before they came into the store. And she comes up, and the little boy runs to her, and he says, Mom, I thought you left me. And the man says, see, she was here the whole time. And the mom says, honey, we were in the fruit snack aisle, and I told you to follow me to the bathroom so I could change your sister. And when I turned around, you were gone. After I changed her, you were gone. And the man this store associate walks away and says, well, we found her. And the mom looks at him and says, have I ever left you before? He says, no. She says, well, I guess you learned something about your man. I'll never leave you or abandon you. And they walk out of the store hand in hand, and look at the mom and says, Mom, can we buy some fruit snacks? But the story is silly as it sounds. It's really a representation of God for us. We are that little boy wandering around crying, God, where are you? In the midst of my loss, my fear, where are you? And the thing is, it's there the whole time. We've just given up hope searching. We think that God should work on us, but forget what God's been. And that's the second truth we should gain from this account of Moses and Israel. That God has a plan to bring us out, and that God has always been there. And the final thing is that God knows what He's doing. He knows how to bring us out. He thinks, how will I lead these Israelites out? I'll send an Israelite to lead them out. And for us, He says the same thing. He says, how am I going to lead these people out of slavery? Because at one point in our lives, maybe right now, today, we understand that we're at a place where we are those Israelites, where we're saying, where's God's plan? Where's He at? He's left me. I feel like I'm in slavery and abandoned, and I don't know where to go. Where's the deliverer? And God says, I sent him. He was a baby from a faraway place. And I sent him in to save people. No, it wasn't Superman. No, it wasn't Moses. It was Jesus. He was sent in to save people. And an incredible illustration is the story of a farmer on his farm. He's inside his house one winter morning, and he hears this thumping sound against his screen door. He looks outside, and it's these sparrows. And they're cold, and they feel the warmth inside. They're trying to get inside, and they can't. So the farmer, having compassion, puts on his boots and his clothes, and he trudges through the snow outside, and opens up his barn, and throws some hay in there so the sparrows can fly in and have warmth and safety. And he turns around, and they're nowhere to be seen. They won't go in. He tries everything. He puts a trail of saltine crackers. He tries to move his arms to wave them in, to scare them in. And they won't go in. So the farmer just goes back inside. And he sees the sparrows outside, cold and shivering. And he says, they won't because they're afraid of it. He says, they don't understand what this big, massive thing is. If I could become one of them for just a moment, be a bird, be a sparrow for just a moment, they would understand it, and I could lead them to that place of warmth and safety and life. At that point, the farmer realizes that's why Jesus came. Jesus came so that he could take the form of a man and he could lead us to this place of safety and life and warmth and life. Jesus is that deliverer of God's promise. Because right now today, there are people everywhere. People you and I know. People in this room that are struggling with things. We're struggling with slavery to sin, to our pain or suffering. We're saying, where's God? Where's God? For the truth of it is that the plan is so true. That God has a plan in the midst of all of it. That he has always been there. And that we have a deliverer in Jesus Christ who took on all our sin, all our slavery, and all our shame on the cross. And he bore it so that we could be led to life. So today, I want to open up the stage for invitation. If you could stand, if you want to pray, please do that. There's people struggling with sin, saying, I'm dealing with this, and I need help. I need someone to lead me out of this. Because where I'm at right now, it feels so dark, it feels so painful, but I can't get out of my own. And I promise you, you can't. The things that we try in this life will not lead us out of it. But Jesus will. Today, I want to pray. God, right now, I stand in awe of you. God, you look upon us, a broken people, and you say, I see that. And I still love you. And I'm still holding on to the plan I have. And I'm still right here. And I'm sending someone to lead you. God, as the Israelites fell in Exodus, I pray that as people don't lose hope, God, that we don't lose hope. That we hold on to the faith, that we have the truth, that your word speaks. That you're still there, that you're going to lead us out.
Thank you.